All right, guys, just working on stuff behind the scenes. Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Eric Gage here. We're going to be watching these storms coming in. So we're just going to start out with what's going on right now. When I kind of go over that, we'll take a step back and talk about the bigger picture here. So first off, what's going on right now? You see this outlined area in yellow. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. It is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, which is a level 2 out of the 3 tags that severe thunderstorm warnings can get. There is base warnings, considerable warnings, and destructive warnings. And this is considerable. Not only that, it has a tornado possible tag. And this is just due to the fact this storm coming in is very strong. Nearing close to 400 lightning strikes in this visible scene here. This is an incredibly strong system coming in. So let's look at the velocity scans, and if I could show you a picture of what strong winds look like, this is it here. You can see, of course, that those bright greens next to those reds, that indicates a very strong line of storms coming in. Nothing looks tornadic right now, but just based off of the fact that there is just some intense wind taking place, regardless of if the winds are spinning or not. This is definitely something that would warrant possible damaging winds as it moves its way toward Watertown. The Watertown area right now is the location we're closely watching as this storm system moves its way south and east. So I'm going to put a track on this right now, basically the leading edge of this wind out toward Watertown and beyond. So you see here around 1:35, so right around 1:30, Watertown folks, this is the time where you guys are going to want to make sure you are in a place that is away from anything that could be caused by wind damage from this storm system moving in. So while this is still loading in, I'm gonna wait for a few more people to come in right now because again, I'm just setting things up in the background. I'm gonna go grab a water quick to make sure I don't start losing my voice like last time I did this and talked a while. So just bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna turn off the camera tracking here, so we'll stay here for a second. I'll be right back. All right. I've got my water. We're good. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, this is currently in a path toward the Watertown, Jefferson, northeastern Oswego, and Lewis counties. That's where the warning is issued. It's a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, and that is a level 2 out of 3 warning issued for severe storms. So this is going to move its way in. Again, the time frame, loading this up here. Let's path it. I'll maybe go beyond here. I'll go beyond the warning. Old Forge around 2:30. And let's see. Lowville, 2:06. Leiden in the West Leiden area around 2:25. And again, back to Watertown at 1:36. So that's what we're watching here right now. Debbie asked, do you see this moving into northern Oneida County, especially Boonville? Yes, I can see that moving into the area. Boonville right now. No current I would say, yeah, I wouldn't say anything currently concerning for Rome, at least until we see how this develops as it moves into Lewis County. Is this going to impact Camden? You guys are on the fringe of it. So I think the southwestern edge of the storm could likely impact the Camden area. I'm going to go back to the radar now. Let's see how things are shaping up. It's still looking pretty strong. Good amount of lightning strikes here. Wind is certainly something we're closely watching here. All right, I'm just looking at some of the radar scans on my phone as well. So in Canada, there was a report. So just a heads up. So the Canadian weather report system is not similar to the one we have here in the U.S. I'm going to try to line this up here. See if I can find Kingston right here. So a bit north and west of Kingston, outside Kepler, there were 3-inch limbs broken from that storm system moving in. Zooming out, for those of you tuning in and you're across all of the areas of New York State, this is where it's heading roughly. I'll zoom even more so you can see it. As of right now, basically any area here out toward Buffalo and basically anywhere currently south of this line. Let me draw a line here. I'll draw it right about here. Maybe I'll give myself some wiggle room and push it a little bit more to the south. Anywhere in this zone, you guys are not in any immediate concern for this MCS right now. Areas to the north, this is where we're watching it right here. So again, this is what we're going to be watching over the next couple of hours. If you were in this zone here, south and west of this line, this is not immediate impact. If you are tuning in and you are in this zone here, stay tuned as we're going to closely watch this. Do you want to come in here for a second?
Yeah. How are we doing, everyone?
Let's see. Oh, we got. This just happened. A warning popped up here. What is this? What was that? Yes, they put out. Okay, so a severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for.
Beautiful.
Let's see if it loads up. I'll load the mesonet here so we can see it.
Oh wow, it's very widespread.
I think I have it here. Let me go back for a second. Behind me is meteorologist James Afazio. Sorry, this literally just happened as he walked in. Okay. It hasn't loaded in the system yet. I'm going to wait for it to pop up for a second.
Should be any minute or any second.
Let's see here. In the meantime, we can list the counties. Let me load this up. Do you have it on with you?
I did a second ago. Where did it go?
Okay, I have it here. I'll read it off if you need to.
Yeah, there's a lot.
All right.
But there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll list it. So again, before it pops up on all these websites, anything you name it like that, our Storm Tracker 2 app. There it is.
That's why we all utilize it because
So look
at that.
This around here. Yeah, so let me list out some of the county names here: Albany, Broome, Cayuga, Shenango, Columbia, Cortland, Delaware, Fulton, Greene, Hamilton, Herkimer, Jefferson, Lewis, Madison, Montgomery, Oneida, Onondaga, Oswego, Otsego, Rensselaer, Saratoga, Schenectady, Schoharie, Seneca, St. Lawrence, Warren, Washington, and Wayne counties. There we go. That has just been issued. The areas in pink. That's where a severe thunderstorm watch has been issued. I'm going to load up here. We have until 2 o'clock before I start loading that up again, but I just have the meso analysis here on the screen.
Nice.
So yeah, it's mainly in this zone here. There's a lot of instability out in Western New York, but there's just nothing firing up.
They've seen more sunlight than we have here.
Yeah. And when it comes to these MCS systems, basically we have all the ingredients. We have a lot of moisture. We have a good amount of instability. You just need something to force that air upwards. And despite it being very unstable out in Western New York, there's just nothing forcing that air upwards. So despite it being a very prime environment for storms, nothing's firing up right now. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to try to make sure I go over some of the questions here.
See if we can hopefully get information from folks up in Watertown and Fort Drum as this line moves through.
There was a report in Canada of 3-inch limbs broken.
Okay.
But that was out north of Kingston, and there just weren't a lot of reports here right along the border. I
Very rarely are there.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me look at the velocity scans here. So it does look like the winds are not as strong hitting the border here. What also could be that it's now getting closer to the radar itself, and it's not nearly as strong of winds. So you can kind of tell here, guys. So we're looking at this behind the scenes. We're looking at live information as you guys are. The farther you are away from the radar, the higher up in the clouds the radar scan goes. So this wind up here is higher up in the clouds than this wind is here. So we're kind of juggling that whole scenario of the winds being closer to the surface and how strong they are as they push its way eastward. But again, there's that leading edge of that wind. Let me put a storm track on this. It's now in Cape Vincent. Let's put it right into Watertown, and let's go out toward Champion. Watertown 134, right around 130. So those of you tuning in from Watertown, this is something that's going to be impacting you guys right here. All right, so let me remove that for a second. I'm going to put a bigger storm track on this. Let's head it down here. For now, you guys aren't in the warning, but I'm just including you guys in the storm track, Old Forge and Boonville. I'm going to put you guys in it. Lowville 202, Old Forge 230. That might include the inlet area, Eagle Bay area as well. So let's see.
Shortly, right around 215 for Boonville there, but it's not quite showing up within the track, but 215 to 230 for Boonville. Forestport, about 220 to 2:30 p.m. We'll continue to track this and continue to put storm cones on it as it continues to drop in from Canada. Once it gets across the border, we'll have a much better sense of its speed and its intensity that we expect it to enter our area at. Once we see how this storm behaves over Lewis County, it'll give us a lot of clues as to what we can expect locally.
Yeah. So for right now, no updates. This is still in the considerable warning, considerable severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. You can see it right here. Anytime we have a warning pop up and the arrow indicates it, we have listed if in that warning there's a tornado possible, which again is in this warning. So yes, if you guys are wondering, is there any risk of tornadoes? Yes, there's a risk for tornadoes with this system coming in. It's not a high risk, but with these types of systems coming in from the northwest, that's basically a given with this type of an environment we have. I'm just going to zoom in along the edge of this wind here. Alexandria, Teresa, Luray, Watertown, Hounsfield, Henderson, basically right along Route 3, Route 180, heading up to I-81, and just outside of Watertown and near Fort Drum. That's basically where this wind line is coming in. Let's check the radar here. Yeah, we still got some good heavy rain, thunder, and lightning.
Quite a bit of a bow echo too.
Let's see. Zooming out, how many lightning strikes? 332. The lightning count has dipped since it moved through South Canada at around 400 lightning strikes.
That's good.
It's not always a definitive factor, but just kind of telling of how much lightning you see.
It's a good indicator of how convective the storm is currently, and that can be useful.
We have reports of a flood, river flooding in croplands out near Kingston in Canada. So this is some heavy rain. There's a lot a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, a lot of fuel for these storms to move into, and of course, flooding and strong winds is a big concern from this.
Now that I watched the radar loop back, I can see why it trained a little bit across Kingston.
Let's go back for a second. Um, yeah, there was some, probably, if I go back a little bit, starting at 12:52, and
just enough.
Right now it's still raining pretty considerably.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that is not shocking at all. Thank you for Timothy saying there's no winds yet in Watertown. Thank you. Yes, it is on your doorstep. So probably within the next 10 to 15 minutes, you are certainly going to feel those winds coming in. And, of course, that line of storms.
3 Mile Bay now seeing the storms, so it's very close to Watertown. Dexter, Sackett's Harbor, within the next 10 minutes, we'll be seeing it, and Watertown shortly thereafter, if not immediately after. Evans Mills, Fort Drum, Philadelphia.
See if I can move this camera so I can capture both of us here.
You don't have to. It's hard. It's difficult.
We have these fancy cameras. I never get it to move around when I want it to move around. So it's going to be following me. So, oh well. Sawyer asks, what should we mainly be concerned about with this storm? Flooding, strong winds. Those are the two main things. You can see their tornado possible tag. It's not high. We can't rule it out, though. We have a report here from Walesi Island on the river. Winds pick up pretty good, but are light now. Lots of thunder and lightning. Thank you for that. I should mention that. Lightning is the biggest risk here out of all this right now. I mean, we've got 300 plus lightning strikes in that storm within the last hour. Regardless of storm damage potential, this is quite a lightning show. All right. A couple more questions here. Is Utica in the clear? Right now, you're not in the immediate vicinity of the warnings. It's still too early to see how this path is going to start shaping up if it starts having a more westerly turn. Sometimes these storms like spinning off each other, splitting, one going one direction, one going the other direction. As of now, there's no immediate concern for Utica and Rome, but you're not out of the woods entirely based off of this storm system coming in. So this is more of a priority look at, say, maybe about an hour or so from now, once we really see how this moves as it moves through Lewis County and enters the unique environment of going downhill off the Tug Hill Plateau into the Mohawk Valley. That usually creates some unique circumstances with low-level winds, and so we're going to watch that for you. Let's see here. Any more storm reports? That wind line is still looking pretty good heading toward Watertown. That's still looking, pretty notable. All right, Watertown, 134. Still no big change. A little after 130. Nathan says the air is still as a statue in Watertown, but we have lightning every 2 minutes or so. All right, thank you for that report. Again, stay safe if you're in the Watertown area as this line comes in. So far, no storm reports along the St. Lawrence as far as I can see. Was there anything from 3 Mile Bay at all or no?
Nothing I've seen yet.
All right. So, the line has passed 3 Mile Bay. It's now past it. Heavy rain and flooding is now your next concern. Of course, obviously with with thunder and lightning in that zone there. All right, let's see here. I'm just looking for anything. Here's the thing, guys, we're looking at. So while we're also talking to you guys about this, with these types of scenarios, we're also looking for embedded rotation. These types of systems, they form what are called little eddies or little rotations along the leading edge of the storm. We watch those because these can just suddenly rotate and produce a tornado. Right now, there's no concern, but we have to closely watch every radar scan because that can happen in the matter of a few minutes. So,
And there are a couple eddies within there, nothing to be concerned about at this time. And that's why there's no tornado warnings
yeah,
across the border yet. But something that I'll be staring at and keeping a very close eye on. He will be watching each and every scan to see
yeah,
how that rotation progresses.
yeah. So we have James in the background here watching for any more additional radar scans. Again, every 5 minutes or so, the new radar scans come out as reference. So we always want to mention, we always want to make sure you guys are informed and safe. So this is basically, I mean, I would kind of call this an MCS at this point. It's just it is pretty much organized,
Absolutely.
fueling itself. What caused the Rome tornado? An MCS. A line of storms when it ran across the state. A very brief window of rotations along that line produced a tornado through Rome. The Clark Mills tornado that took place last year, an MCS overnight, brief rotation right along the line produced two tornadoes side by side. So these are things we watch very closely. Again, right now, no tornado risk. Strong winds, lightning, heavy rain, the biggest concerns, flooding, obviously, once that wind risk rolls through. But right now, no immediate tornado risk. Logan asks, is the storm maintaining its strength? It's slightly weakened a little bit compared to when it was in Canada, but I mean, we're still hovering around the 340 lightning strike range, 337. Let me zoom out here. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's weakened. It's still very strong. This is not to a point where I'm seeing anything that's like, okay, things are looking good.
I'm not seeing the risk of the thunderstorm warning being canceled.
Yeah, this is no warning cancel situation. The warning is justified. I expect it to likely stick around for the entire duration of this storm rolling through Lewis County. All right.
Eddies up by
Yeah,
northern edge of the line.
yeah, I see those. We're watching these right here. Again, nothing very concerning, but if you're wondering what we're looking at here, we're trying to find little spigots of rotation right along this line. That's our biggest concern. But for right now, this is basically a direct path toward Watertown. At least the just significant winds, not tornado, just significant winds.
And I expect significant straight line winds within at least portions of Watertown as this moves through. They're at the precipice of the MCS right now where it's bowing the most. So that's normally a sign of very strong winds. Watertown and Fort Drum both going to get hit pretty considerably by this as this works through. And again, as Eric mentioned, there is a lot of heavy rain with this, and even after the storm moves through, there's moderate rainfall behind it. So flooding is a slight concern as this slides in from the north, especially for areas that this trains over the same location. As some may recall from the last MCS that we experienced from the Clark Mills tornado, after the tornado and the winds, we dealt with flooding for about 5 to 6 hours region wide. We had flood warnings for the entire viewing area. And that's just because sometimes these MCSs can pick up so much. They can pick up so much liquid from the atmosphere. The atmosphere is absolutely saturated, and we're watching this move into, I would say, a slightly less convective environment. I'm thinking that the cloud coverage was also a little lacking across the North Country today.
We just got what happened. What's new here? We just got a warning pop, a warning or watch. What got updated?
Was it the Special Marine?
Is that what it was?
Can't.
I'm trying to see what's new here. When was this issued? One. It looks like. Okay. Oh. What happened here? Oh my goodness. This got upgraded to destructive.
Okay, so
The destructive is that is a warning on your phone. Destructive is the highest category for severe storm risk. This is 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So those of you in Watertown, you guys want to treat this as if this is a significant wind event coming into the area. I know this is not a tornado warning, but I just want to relay the safety information here. If you can, just go into your basement, go into the center room of your home, stay away from windows. Those of you in the Watertown, Fort Drum, and surrounding areas, this is now upgraded to a destructive severe thunderstorm warning.
Equally as dangerous as an EF0 tornado. It can be. 80-mile-an-hour winds are an EF0 tornado strength. They can do just as much or more damage than a weak tornado. So this is something that you're going to want to take extremely seriously as this line moves in. If you're in Lewis County or St. Lawrence County, be prepared to take shelter away from windows. Especially be prepared to possibly move to the lowest level of your home. But primarily, make sure you're not going to want to be near any glass as these high winds move through.
Yes, that's the big key here. You guys want to take shelter here. Nathan goes, there's stuff flying everywhere. Nathan's reporting from Watertown. Cape Vincent, Nick says reporting damage. Yes, guys, get inside your homes now if you are in Watertown. This is directly hitting you guys right now. Any surrounding towns, surrounding villages, Rices. I mean, we're talking Green Settlement, Rodman, East Rodman.
New severe thunderstorm warning were updated. Yeah, it's just there. It is. It's our app picking up on the upgraded.
All right, upgraded warning there. If you are in these towns, I'm trying to list them out as much as I can, regardless of knowing what town you're in.
Shelf cloud from Watertown, so you can see that leading edge of the wind really creating some nasty clouds.
I think once this enters probably closer to Lowville, it's probably going to extend beyond that into the Old Forge, northern Oneida County area. I'll probably break into coverage for our.
For sure, once this warning gets extended into northern Oneida, especially if it's still either considerable or higher. We don't see too many of these damaging tags.
This is not a common tag to see in upstate New York. This is the highest level. You see these usually in the Midwest. So, again, just take our warning seriously. Get into your centermost portion of your home.
It's just beginning to move into Watertown now. It's 1:35. Watertown seeing heavy rain. Fort Drum also beginning to experience the beginning of this really, really heavy rain. Could see some hail up there as well.
Oh, here we go. I think that's what was said before. Let's see. Chris Hudson from WWNY in Watertown reports a tree fell in Cape Vincent. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. There were multiple reports of wind damage being produced by the MCS in Jefferson County. So this is directly from the Weather Service in Albany. They'll likely be issuing severe thunderstorm warnings for the western part of their area in the next 30 minutes or so.
That would be northern Herkimer County, northern Hamilton, or all of Hamilton County, all of Herkimer County, which makes me think that
Yeah, I'm going to
If
continue
that's-
that storm track there.
Yeah, if that's the case, it makes me think that at least northern Oneida County will be in on these warnings as well.
Rutland, Denmark, Lowville, Leiden area, Old Forge around 2:30. Again, they're thinking of extending these warnings. I wouldn't know if they're going to continue the destructive tag, but this is certainly something that they'll continue it as it moves through Watertown. Thank you, Nathan, for saying you're in your closet. Debbie says WNY just broke into programming. That's more than justified.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you guys are in the Watertown area, also, you can check out their coverage. They'll be live covering the Watertown area. Of course, we're covering this through the entire event as it continues through central New York until the risk ends. We're covering this live. So Jackson says, wait, hold on. I want to make sure this is 80 miles per hour. Is that verified? Do we have, hold on. I want to check out the Watertown airport here.
Well, that would explain the damaging tag, but that would be absurd.
No, it didn't pop in yet. Oh, excuse me, Fort Drum, I mean. Let me look up Fort Drum. That's, it's Boeing, James.
It's Boeing so much.
It's
right
Boeing.
over the Watertown area, too.
Let's see. Probably in the next 15, 20 minutes, we'll see what the official wind gusts reported in Fort Drum. If you're just tuning in, this is impacting Lewis County, Jefferson County right now, eventually Lewis County and Oswego County. This is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. This is the highest warning that gets issued for severe thunderstorms. 80 mile per hour winds possible. List off some of the information here in this warning. So, it's moving southeast at 50 miles an hour. This is for the Watertown and northern Jefferson County area. 80 mile per hour wind gusts in quarter-size hail are possible. Flying debris could be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes possibly heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages are likely. Locations impacted include Watertown, Fort Drum, Stony Point, Carthage, Lowville, West Carthage, Clayton, Adams, Dexter, and Redfield. So this includes Interstate I-81 between exits 37 and 52. So make sure you are moving into an interior room on the lowest floor of your building if you heard your town called. It's a dangerous situation, and it's producing widespread wind damage across northern Jefferson County.
This is the highest level of warning for straight line winds. We have a damaging tag on this severe thunderstorm warning. That means that wind gusts in excess or up to 80 miles per hour are expected. Looks like the peak of the line is just now working into Fort Drum. Watertown still seeing just incredibly heavy rainfall. I'm not sure that they're going to see flooding issues, but my gosh, they've gotten a lot of rain in a very short amount of time. Yes.
This is looking like we got like a downburst or something like that.
Yeah, it's bizarre because if you put the reflectivity on it, it doesn't look as ominous as
it doesn't. You're right. Yeah, it doesn't look as ominous. Yeah, if you look at the storm on radar, it just looks like a normal storm. You turn on the velocity scans, and my goodness, you see this line coming in. This is anything but, or everything, which would include a significant wind event coming in. Alex Bay or more toward Clayton? Lillian asked that question here.
Adams Center storm is about to be working into your area. You're going to want to take shelter. Champion, New York as well.
Regardless of basically any town I named, you guys are included.
Correct.
Now, so this is a bit of an issue here. So with Adams, this is not where the much of the Boeing is taking place. Usually, these western edges of these storms will produce the most wind, but it doesn't look as significant out toward Adams. But still, I mean, basically, Copenhagen and Wilna, you guys are next along this.
Be
Pinckney,
prepared.
you guys are next. If you guys are in these towns here, Wilna, Denmark, Pinckney, anywhere, any township or little village in between those areas, you need to get inside your home immediately. Get to a sturdy structure, interior room on the lowest floor. Thank goodness the Montague radar is up right now. This would have been very difficult to track.
Yes. I would have been having flashbacks.
Yes. So shout out to the Montague radar for being up right now, helping us tremendously track this storm. If you want to know about the benefits of having radar systems in our area, about having multiple radar systems in our area, this is the benefit right here. The fact you can get a warning for Watertown of this storm coming in, and it's pretty dang accurate. It's also heading directly toward the radar, which really helps. Let me try answering some questions here while we're just kind of going over a few things. Excuse me. Sawyer asks, is there any chance of it weakening as it gets to Rome, the Utica area? Yes, there's a good chance. It's certainly a bit too far right now to really definitively say what's... Oh, here we go. Sorry. We just got a wind damage report right here. Oh, they're starting to pop in now. Let's see what Buffalo has here. Thunderstorm wind damage. Oh, my goodness. Widespread trees and power lines down in the Cape Vincent area. Widespread trees and power lines down in the Clayton area. So a very significant wind damage event out along the border of the St. Lawrence. Let me go back to the radar scans here. Yeah, it's Boeing. That's a very, very significant bow echo if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
I mean, I think with a lot of these Boeing situations, like I think much of the destruction would be happening right when it first, like right here, right when it starts Boeing, right here. That's where it would be dropping the most wind.
Yep.
Let's go back to the velocity scans. I'm keeping it on velocity scans, guys, because like the storm doesn't really look like much if it's just the radar, but you can clearly see where the wind's approaching from the velocity scans, which is now getting very close to the Montague radar toward Pinckney and Lowville. What do we got here? I think it's nothing toward Champion. So I know, guys, I'm not mentioning a lot of towns in central New York right now. At this point, I can't tell you to confirm anything how this is going to shape up as it moves its way south and east. I expect it to weaken a little bit, but for right now, the path that we're closely following is going to be in this category right here. I'll include Old Forge in this. Hopefully Boonville gets included. Yes, it did. So, Lowville 201, West Turin 214, Boonville 225, Forestport 230, Ohio 249. Again, with the latest information from the Weather Service in Albany, they do expect to continue warnings beyond this warning here into Herkimer County, which is their next county they cover. So, for right now, outside of these towns, I can't definitively tell you what's going to be happening with the storm system. Again, just be weather aware. We'll be following this over the next few hours, so we're not going anywhere. If things look significant, we'll be, of course, beginning to mention to you guys. But again, right now, this is where we're closely tracking it. And you know what? I'm going to load up the squall line graphic here. I want to cover more of this zone. Let's do it right about here.
That's perfect.
Wilna, Loudville, Croghan, Western, and Boonville. Those are the areas that I have in that time frame on the top left-hand side of your screen. So while I'm talking, you guys can look at that time frame and you guys can plan ahead on when this storm rolls in. All right. I also want to mention, I know some of you guys are just tuning in. Anywhere basically south of that line right here, you guys aren't in an immediate concern. Syracuse, as of now, you guys aren't in immediate concern with this. You guys have a lot of instability in the atmosphere. You got a lot of moisture, but this is something we're not closely following out in western New York right now. There's no catalyst for these storms to form like it is taking place currently out in Lewis County. Nicole Ann asks, looks like the south shore of Oneida Lake looks to be okay. For right now, it does. We'll see how the path continues. But for right now, I wouldn't say you're an immediate risk. Maybe the northeastern shore, but we got to see how this continues to split because this MCS is bowing. So it's bowing in this direction here.
We'll see if this takes off and starts screaming east.
Yeah.
From the Boeing. I think it'll continue somewhat southeasterly. I don't know if it'll continue southeasterly enough to include Utica and Rome, but that doesn't really change our coverage. We're still going to be with you through this event, whether this is in northern Oneida, northern Herkimer County, central, or southern.
Billy goes funnel cloud spotted near Lafargeville. Billy, where'd you get that information from? Just want to make sure we vet anything that resembles that. The last system we had come in, there were a lot of reports that came in that were AI generated. So we are going to be vetting these storm reports very closely for especially tornadoes, because that is the seller everyone wants to show. Mandy goes, how's weather looking for the God Mac concert tonight in Syracuse? I think you guys should be okay for Syracuse. This is moving through, and it's moving north of you guys right now over the next few hours.
But it's looking warm.
It's looking warm. It's gonna be very warm, very humid. All right, Kyle goes, no wind in Carthage, just had heavy rain, and it's over now. All right, let's look at Carthage.
Okay.
I'll leave this here for you guys. You can see it while I look on my phone here. Yeah, the wind signature didn't look that impressive over Carthage. South of it, though, there's some. See, now here's we got to watch out for because it's Boeing, now we got some of that low-level wind shear.
Yes.
We're going to watch for embedded rotations now.
Big time.
All right, let's see here. I'll go back here for a second to the correlation coefficient. Nothing's. I mean, I'm like, it's. I wouldn't say by any means it's anything regarding interference. I mean, we got nothing concrete. But I mean, I'm just looking at that, and it looks very suspicious.
That's very suspicious.
You guys wondering what we're looking at? This is past happening.
Could also on the correlation coefficient, which that's not near Cape Vincent, but straight line wind damage can get picked up on there. But
Yeah,
I don't think that's what that is.
we should probably watch this.
I am.
Yeah, we're gonna watch this. Let's go back here.
It's exactly where I'm.
Yeah. Where is that? That's
South of
outside.
It's just south of Carthage.
We're outside Denmark. Yeah. We are going to be watching right here. Maybe right here. It looks a bit more pronounced here than on the weather system. Because now you got the winds moving southeast right at that time.
Next scan was a little less concerning.
All right, let's see here. Oh, we got.
Oh,
Do you see that next radar scan?
yep.
Yeah, so there's nothing official on this, but I'm just going to go ahead and just talk about it here. And if you're in the Denmark area heading toward Castorland,
Yeah, I believe it's Casterland, but
Casterland, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the comments here if you're up in Lewis County. I'm definitely watching this here. I'm watching that velocity scan. That looks very impressive, at least when it comes to the remainder of the line, which doesn't appear to be more uniform anymore in terms of wind. But I'm definitely watching that.
Yeah.
Let's see anything here. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the next radar scan on that one. All right, let's zoom out for a second here. So as of now, so this warning here will expire in.
5 minutes.
Is that what it had here for?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Yeah, so 5 minutes is going to expire.
I think it'll get either extended or a new one will be issued.
Yeah.
Just because of the history of damage. There's the next scan. It's also looking a little interesting.
Oh, next scan just popped in.
Yep.
That's very close to the radar too.
Yep.
I mean, that's about as close to the ground as you can get for a radar scan. Let me put the last 15 minutes. Last 30 minutes. Let me do that. See the evolution of this.
Let's watch this back a little bit.
This is what we're talking about, guys. These individual little eddies.
As that squall line broke down, the rotation took over, just as you were suspecting would be the case.
Now, not that this is an advantage or anything, but this does look like it's going to be heading toward a, well, I take that back. This is still a very populated area here outside Lowville. A bit more sparsely populated out here in this section of Lewis County. But, there's no warning on this. I'm just going to let you guys know if you guys are in this area here. just going to put this. I mean, I think it's probably moving this direction. You think?
Yeah, I think that's a good. Yeah, maybe a little more northerly. Yeah,
Right about there.
Yeah, right about there.
Briggs Corner, New Bremen, Bush's Landing. That's we got. What's the update here? The warning just popped up. Did they extend it? Oh, they got
Yes,
they got
they
split.
extended it a full hour. Did they switch it to considerable?
I think they downgraded it considerable.
Yeah.
No, just a normal warning.
Yep.
70-mile-per-hour winds.
Yep. We're gonna keep a close eye on that rotation.
That's considerable, isn't it? 70-mile-an-hour winds.
70 is considerable.
For some reason, it doesn't get named here.
I don't know why it doesn't say.
Oh, there it is. It's at the bottom here.
There
All
it
right.
is. Okay, threat considerable. Yeah, 60, 55 and up. Really 60 and up.
All right. When does this expire?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay. So right now, this warning here, you're going to see this warning expire in just a second. Now we have a considerable, which is one step below destructive. So signs are pointing to the overall system is weakening, but we're watching. I don't know. I mean, James, this just sticks out like a sore thumb along this line here.
It's especially because of how close it is to the radar site. It's a very tight rotation signature. Being that close to the radar site, it's very suspicious to us, especially with the notch now that's even on the radar. If you look at radar next to it, there's a little bit of a notch in the line. I don't like the look of that. If you're in Denmark, New Bremen, Krogan, you're going to want to take shelter.
Yeah, there's no warning on this, but I'm just going to be telling you guys what I think the worst situation is for. Well, let me see this. Yeah, the next scan actually looks a bit. I mean, it looks just like mainly a burst of wind. This is just speculation here on what possibly happened. I think maybe a tornado was trying to form, and it just got overwhelmed by the straight line winds.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Regardless, there's no tornado warning here, but I'm just putting a storm track on it. If you guys are in this area here, just New Bremen, Crystal Dale, Sperryville at 213. Just make sure you guys are in an area that you guys are in shelter at very minimum while that burst of wind rolls through.
Montague is in the cell now.
Yep. The radar is now inside the band of wind. Yeah, see, this is what I meant. That south, the western edge of this, it's still the western runners like to still remain strong. Mm-hmm. The left side of it is going to weaken and try to form little rotations. So yeah, now when it comes to the latest conditions, guys, now we're going to be talking and focusing a bit more on Oswego County and southern Lewis County. I'll still keep a close eye outside near Krogan, and
I'll watch that as well.
Yeah, James will watch that for now. I'm going to focus more on this zone here. Let me put on a squall line graphic here. Let me back up for a second. Let me make sure this is moving. Okay, it's moving in this direction. So these are the spots that now we're watching out for on the western side of this. 201 Sandy Creek, 211 Richland, 216 West Turin, 224 Leiden, 231 in Boonville. That's the next line heading in this direction here toward sections of southern Lewis County and pretty much the northeastern half of Oswego County. Joseph says, I don't see debris signature and correlation coefficient, maybe some rotation, but less likely anything's touched down at the moment. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think the winds were there. The winds were trying to form something, but it just didn't really form anything.
Hello.
Hey, Bill.
How we doing, Bill?
Just walked in the door. Hey, guys.
This is Bill Cardison, our chief meteorologist.
I'm dressed this time.
Yeah, he has his dress outfit on. So, just give me an update, Bill. As of right now,
I see they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Utica.
did this just get issued?
Yeah, they just issued.
Oh, there it is. Wow, it just popped in. There we go.
Yeah, it's got the
Tornado possible.
tornado possible tag.
All right, let's update this, guys. Now we have, yeah, sure enough, it now starts popping in.
I want to interrupt because we're gonna have to cut in on WKTV.
Yes, I have all my things set up.
Okay.
I'll do this one, and then if you want,
Let me go talk to the people behind the scenes. I'll be right back.
All right.
But yeah, we want to
Definitely going to have to do a cutting for that one.
All right. So, guys, we're going to be going live on our broadcast for just a minute or so as we cover this warning coming in. But while we're still waiting for that,
Also, they extended that through Herkimer and into Hamilton.
yeah, so now the counties involved, northeastern Oswego County, still Lewis County in that warning. Now it is a normal severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag for the areas of northern Oneida County, northern Herkimer County, and the western edge of Hamilton County. And let's see what time that is until. This is until 3 o'clock. All these are until 3 o'clock.
Which makes me think that they're a little unsure of the speed and the timing and how this is going to progress. Again, once this gets on the other side of the radar site, we'll have a better view of it. Once it's not on top of the radar, and then we'll be able to fully track it.
Going to be getting you ready.
Okay, let me plug in here.
Yeah, well, actually, while you're doing that, I can help.
All right.
Eric's getting ready to go on television. This a part of our protocol at WKTV is anytime we have warnings in Oneida, Herkimer County, especially something like this, we break into programming on WKTV. We're usually on the air for, in this case, it'll be maybe a minute to a minute and a half. And then just depending on how things progress, we may end up doing more of these or may end up staying on longer. So we're going to kind of piggyback coverage between online and on television.
Yeah. All right, let me just set myself up here. Oh, yeah, look at that. What? Bill. Well, James is looking at this right now here on it's the northeastern edge that the straight line winds are now weakening. It's more kind of forming little eddies. So we're watching those along the line there.
Yeah. So bottom line, I think we won't really want to stress to people to get inside.
Yeah.
Even though this isn't a tornado warning, I think it's just you got a lot of wind with this. So
yeah, wind's the biggest concern with this.
Yeah, you want to be inside in this. You don't want to be outside in the middle of this. For
You
sure.
don't want once you get indoors, get away from windows. You don't want to be near glass.
All right. Let me turn on my. Sorry, Cam. My pack wasn't on. Let's see here. Radar. Let's load it up here.
It was Cape Vincent, and where was the other location? Clayton.
Yeah, Cape Vincent and Clayton. There's Bill.
Widespread tree damage in Clayton and Cape Vincent.
Oh, let me load up. I gotta load up the system here on this computer. There's the warning there.
Those are the Herkimer and the Hamilton.
Oh, I wasn't plugged in. That's why. Whoops. All right. There we go.
Yeah, I think that just just for the Herkimer County part of that.
Yeah. All right. I'll let me turn this on here. You guys can see what goes on the
James,
green
can you
screen.
look at that on your Martinsburg?
Yes.
So you guys will see the green screen behind the scenes. I can move over there for our live broadcast. Yes. Okay, I'm all set. Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are closely tracking a line of thunderstorms currently moving through Lewis County. Let's take a look at the radar right now. The path of this has it heading toward, you can see the warnings here for northern Oneida County, northern Herkimer County, western Lewis County. The severe storm category for the warning is for a normal severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado possible. There's no confirmed tornado. This is not anything at this point you need to seek shelter immediately. It's more so just the fact that you guys want to be aware of this storm as it moves into, again, northern Oneida County, northern Herkimer County, and western Lewis County. This is until 3 p.m., and we'll continue to track this line here as it moves its way through Lewis County into the northern edges of central New York. Of course, you can see on the camera here, I'm in the corner. I am currently live on Facebook and on our YouTube page, WKTV News Channel 2. You can follow this live as we're covering it. But again, as of now, that's the warning, and we'll continue to provide updates. If anything does turn significant, we'll be cutting in with more information. Thank you. All right. Do you want me to stay connected, or do you want to have the?
I think we can probably trade the baton.
All right.
And then
Let's turn this off here.
yeah, I mean, and you're free to go. You've had a long day. If you want to stay, that's fine too.
Yeah, I'll stay a little bit longer. I'm gonna see how this looks for now.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Here you go.
Eric already worked. What is this now? 10 hours.
Yeah, since 4 a.m.
Yeah,
this
Eric's
morning.
been here since 4 a.m. So
So this is now hour 10, I believe.
yeah.
Hour 10.
Keep it up for our time.
Hour 10. All right. In the meantime, I'll be.
So another question too. I don't think I've ever done this before, but do I have the ability to update things on this computer? Or do
I have it on
while this is streaming?
I talked. Well, let me talk to some people behind the scenes here about that, because I mentioned that during our new newscast. I'm thinking of the possibility. I never thought about it until now.
Because I would like to keep this stream, but I also have to get ready for the news.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you use this for the newscast.
Use this just to update graphics. Like if I'm building my shows tonight, can I be on here and on here at the same time?
Let me ask them if they can use this stream.
Okay.
If you just keep your microphone on.
Oh, because of KTV Plus.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to ask if they can just cut into this while we're covering it.
Yeah.
But I'll be right back.
We're just doing some behind the scenes stuff. We got a lot of things that we do these days. We're running different computers are running different things, and we want to make sure we're able to update things. So, so welcome to our live stream. For those of you that are just tuning in, meteorologist Bill Cardis here. We've got James DeFazio.
Hi.
We are covering a round of thunderstorms that are dropping in from the north. There's a severe thunderstorm warning on this that encompasses a large part of our area, including Utica, Rome, Trenton, Old Forge, basically from Utica to the north, all the way up to Old Forge. Severe thunderstorm warning. And you see this tornado possible tag. What that means is there's not a tornado warning. But in this type of storm, there's all these small eddies that show up. And what it just means is this could produce a tornado. It's not producing a tornado, but it could. So I know that seems a little alarming. What it means is just you want to get inside. You don't want to be outside when this thing is blowing through. But just to give you an idea of how where this is going and when this will be moving through, if we look at how things have progressed, you can see the forward motion is from northwest to southeast. And if we take just the motion of where this is going, you're going to see that the bulk of this will be probably as between Rome to Utica. We're on kind of the fringe of this. Unless something changes, sometimes these things can develop.
Yes.
Sometimes you can get more growth on the right side, but if it doesn't, if we don't get any more growth on the back flank, most of this will be Rome, Utica on the very fringe into Herkimer County. I have noticed too that it's been
sliding eastward.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent. I know the warnings are they seem a little have a southern bias so far.
Yes, absolutely.
Just based on what's going on here. So you see different colors on here. There's different types of severe thunderstorm warnings. You've got this red shaded one that's tornado possible. This really bright yellow that indicates it's what's called a destructive tag. That means the winds could be as high as 70 miles an hour. The winds in this red shaded box, 60 miles an hour. Small difference, but a little bit more destructive to the north compared to what's expected to the south. Do you see anything interesting on the radar that I need to be aware of? Any like
up by Krogan, there's some very weak rotation, but it's nothing to worry about at this time at all. A couple of eddies within the line, but again, nothing tight. I just see a lot of straight line winds. Heading towards Lionsdale. Heading towards just moving into Boylston now. And this is going to continue to drop towards Redfield, Richland, Albion, eventually Boonville, Ava, Forestport. We're starting to get another better look at this again now that it's crossed the radar site. We're starting to get a full view of this.
We're good just to close out of this.
Okay. Now the other question is, will I be able to update graphics while I'm streaming?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think
they won't update on here while we're in the live stream, but once you exit, they'll update in every part of the system here.
Okay. I'm just trying to think ahead here because I think a lot of this will be long gone by 5. I should have enough time to build my show. Yeah.
Oh, what did I do here? This is now it's like split this way.
Oh yeah, sometimes that happens.
Well, maybe I could do that.
So we're gonna take a team timeout. I'm gonna call the timeout as the coach here, and we're gonna talk about some things behind the scenes about how we want to proceed here. Okay, we're good to go. We just had a few things we had to talk about. One of those things was what we're just collecting some information about what these storms were doing to the north. Watertown had a 49-mile-an-hour wind gust at the weather observing site. That happened at a little after 1:30. We also had some damage to the north too. So these icons indicate wind damage. Just a couple of them, which is good. Good in the sense of not a lot. So this was in the Cape Vincent area, some trees down, Clayton area, widespread trees and power lines down. We're not going to get a really good idea of the damage up north. Part of it is just because it's not our television market. So this line of storms is dropping in from the north. This is producing a lot of lightning. It's producing a lot of wind. This is a complex of storms. So there's an incredible amount of lightning with this, 193 strikes in the last hour.
Well, a couple hours ago, it was near 400 when I went to the Canadian border.
So the numbers are down.
Numbers are down. It's not as much of a lightning show.
Okay.
What I'm looking at right here, and you guys can pitch in as well. It looks like the significant straight line wind potential. I think the risk for that is going down. I do think though we got to watch for embedded rotations.
Right.
I think that's probably our next focus, especially on the north or on the eastern side of these.
So, well, here's another thing too. I know nowadays there's better ways of communicating to our friends up north. And for those, if you know anyone that's at water safari today, I know it's a warm, humid day. I know a place is really popular. Give them a heads up. This thing is coming in. This storm, the strongest part of this storm, this little curl in it right here. That's concerning to me. If there's a spot that is going to do any kind of wind damage, it's going to be that area. So the curl is indicating kind of the center of that MCS.
Camera here.
Yeah,
keeps moving.
If you know anyone in water safari, in fact, I'm going to put a social media post on that because it's just worth taking a moment to do that. We know there's a lot of people that are outside enjoying their summer as they should. This could be problematic. It looks like this is going to go right towards water safari in the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I agree. There's a
yeah. If you want to take over for just a second, so I can.
Yeah. Right now, I'm just looking at where what you said here. This little bowing taking place is something we're watching, and that's again on the eastern edge of this storm system. Zooming out a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Oh, look at that! We have some storm activity starting to fire up in the Syracuse area.
Yeah, okay.
There's an update. Where's the update on the warning? Did this get modified? Let's see here. This was issued $159. This was issued 220. So they just modified the considerable warning for Lewis County and northeastern Oswego County. All right. Yeah, I mean, regardless of the lightning, let me zoom out a little bit because this is the overall lightning strike. Yeah, around 200. So it's about halved of what it was when it hit the Canadian border, where those storm damage was reported here. But it's still producing a good amount of lightning, and it's heading toward this area here. I'm going to put a squall line storm track on this. You see it's heading in that direction?
Yes. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just trying, like, these are moving like what, like 35, or is it a little faster?
Um, let's see how fast this is going here.
Maybe like 35, 40,
36 knots.
about 40. Yeah.
Yeah. So on 40 miles an hour, heading down in the southeast direction. Those of you that are on the list here, this is not anything. This is just the fact that there's a the arrival of the storm. Again, there's nothing we're tracking here that indicates anything very concerning. But just a heads up, that's the arrival time, at least of the heavy rain, of the thunder and lightning. There's still some flood risk too. That's another thing we're going to closely watch with this too. A lot of heavy rain.
Yeah. So, especially on the backside of that, I think
Yeah.
that's probably going to be maybe kind of on the tail end of this. Are there any flash flood warnings to the north? Doesn't look like it.
There were flood reports in Canada,
Okay.
but that was about it. Yeah, so up near Kingston in Canada, there were reports of power lines torn off poles.
Yeah, this looked pretty.
Yeah, it
Pretty
was
nasty
very
right
destructive
north.
heading along the St. Lawrence. That's where the worst of it, as far as we can see, that's where the worst of it was. It's still producing a good amount of wind right along that line there. Oh, I see that. Look at that swirl.
Yeah. So that's the center of the MCS.
Yep, right there.
So
There's
what's
the center.
So you're sometimes these images can be kind of scary right here.
Yeah, it looks worse than it is.
Yeah. What can sometimes happen when you look at this, and if you're, I know nowadays everyone has access to this information, but if you're following the radar images, sometimes you'll see these reds and greens. It almost looks like what we call a velocity couplet, but it's mostly it's a mesoscale feature. It's the storm structure itself. It doesn't necessarily mean it's tornadic. However, that's usually the spot where you can get the strongest winds from. So those are usually the strongest part of the line. And then you're also looking at how it's changed. Actually, it looked stronger. Actually, it looked a lot stronger when it was up north of Loudville.
Yep.
You see that?
Oh yeah.
And it's been showing signs of weakening. And actually, that's kind of good. I mean, I'm looking at the meso analysis on the Storm Prediction Center's page, and it's like the instability. It looks like it's a little bit less.
So I think one of the defining factors here, we had some decent cloud cover this morning. Canada was just completely sunny. I mean, this was the environment. Let me go back a little bit. Let's go back. Let me go back to 36 hours, 36 frames. Look at that. 44. So this is the cloud cover this morning that hit us. I mean, there was still some sunshine. I take that back.
A little bit.
But during the prime heating hours here, that cloud cover rolled in. But, I mean, honestly, this is the...
Let me get out of your way.
This is like the definition of wind shear. I mean, you look at this. Here's the south winds coming in, and there's the higher level winds coming in from the north in the complete opposite direction. That tells you that there's winds in different directions in the atmosphere. One of the ingredients for severe storm potential, which is why this environment was favorable for MCSs to form.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not very large. Like, that's a relatively small one. If you
Yeah,
look at the size of it, it doesn't. It's not. It's not as large as we've seen.
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
past.
I mean, for like the ones we had that in 2024, the two that happened in July,
Yeah.
those were significant ones.
Yeah.
The one that happened last year, very significant. This one, it had a very small bow echo along the shores of Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River. After that, I mean, there's still bowing taking place, but I mean, it just doesn't look like it's very alarming.
It's not as impressive as it was.
Again, I think our biggest concern right now, I mean, if you look at the latest velocity scans,
Yeah.
it's really just the embedded rotations.
Yeah.
Like we got that's the one thing we got to really look out for.
There's a lot of them too. There's nothing that stands out to me as being concerning at the moment, though.
No.
All right, so quick update here. We're tracking storms crossing into northern Oneida County. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Utica, Rome, Remsen, basically most of Herkimer County. It is north of the thruway, at least for the part in Herkimer County. These storms are producing thunder, lightning, wind, some wind damage. Seems to be weakening in the last few radar scans, but there's going to be some wind that comes down with this. In terms of any tornadoes, I know you see the threat tornado possible that really stands out here. There's not a tornado warning. It's a tag that means there's some swirls that are happening in the storm and things could escalate. So take this one a little bit more seriously than you would a severe thunderstorm warning. But again, do want to stress that at the moment, we're not seeing anything to sound that alarm.
Nope.
Strongest part of this storm is over Old Forge. For folks that are, maybe you know somebody in water safari, they're getting heavy rain now, and it's time to get inside. You don't want to be outside when this is happening. Not only just the heavy rain, the lightning, wind. It could be potentially dangerous. This is moving into an environment that's a little bit less favorable for storm growth. So I think we'll see these storms weaken a little bit as we go throughout time. And in fact, you can see how things have changed. There's still a lot of red on the map, but there's less lightning strikes. There's lower reflectivity. That just means that the rain isn't quite as intense. And the wind values have come down too. Looks like the strongest part of this is in northwestern Oneida County. This is the spot. Boonville, Forestport, Woodgate. This is heading towards Ohio. This is the spot to watch. Some strong wind with this. There's also some strong wind in this part just north of Old Forge. This is the strongest wind signature. See if it shows up here. Yeah, it does a little bit. So this is it's moving right towards you in Old Forge. It's mainly wind. Straight line wind is possible. Again, straight line wind is obviously a problem. We don't make a huge deal between whether it's straight or whether it's swirling. It's wind is wind.
Yeah.
And if it's 50 miles an hour, if it's 60 miles an hour, it's enough where it could take down some tree limbs. And if you're outside, it could potentially hurt you. So yeah, if you know anybody in water safari, Old Forge, or maybe they're camping, maybe they're just out camping. I know a lot of people have this week off as we get into the 4th of July. If you know anybody that's camping in the Adirondacks, just give them a heads up. There's a strong storm that could produce some strong wind heading their way.
This is heading right toward Boonville too.
Yep.
Straight line winds right into Boonville.
Straight line winds.
Yeah, the strongest part of this outside of that zone of wind is Boonville too.
Not very strong for the radar signature, but still worth mentioning that's going through Boonville right now.
Yep.
A new warning popped up here. I just click these to get rid of them. I have to modify it where the text pops up.
Okay.
But it just lets you know that there's a new warning that was issued.
Is that for Lewis County?
I think they modified the warning.
Yes. Still a considerable tag.
Yes, that's the update.
Let's see.
I know it's very far away from the radar scans, but let's look at the velocity scan from BGM and move it toward those move it towards those cells out south, north and west of Syracuse.
Oh, yeah.
Good catch.
It's right outside. Yeah, the warning just came down for that.
And they just dropped a warning on it.
Yeah. That's a normal tag warning for, let's see if I can list this off for you guys here. Those cells, Wayne County, Cayuga County, southwestern Oswego, northeastern Ontario County. This is until 3:30. There's that severe thunderstorm near Clyde, 16 miles north of Waterloo, moving southeast at 25 miles an hour. 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail possible. The locations impacted include Geneva, Fairhaven Beach, Ontario, Newark, Williamson, Marion, Lyons, Clyde, Phelps, and Sodus, between I-90 exit 40 and 42. So that's that warning there. And that, I believe, if we look at where it's heading, I think it's heading south of Syracuse. It's heading out toward
that'll be
between Syracuse and the Finger Lakes.
That's probably that's gonna the trajectory for that is gonna follow something like that. The only thing is, so one challenge about all this is that the direction of the storms will depend on the intensity. A lot of these bigger ones turn right.
Yep.
So if this were to counter the flow here and this were to blow up, it'd do something more like this.
Which is why, again, these warnings aren't.
They're pretty broad too. So you kind of notice that with what's going on here, because if you live west of Rome, you're probably not getting this.
From Joe.
So we have someone that is in
Alex Bay
and had looked like a pretty good shelf cloud squall line.
Mm-hmm.
Just sent us a photo. Actually, you want to put that up to the camera?
Absolutely.
I don't know if there'll be glare.
It probably will be.
No, actually, it's not bad.
That's a good. Yeah, that's good. You guys can see that right over Alex Bay.
Yeah, so those were the storms that came in hour and a half ago.
All right, Steve says it's coming in Ava now. So that's basically northern Oneida County now. It's pretty much in this vicinity here.
This looks like we might get lucky that it slides east to Utica.
I think you're right. I think this is going to go east of Utica.
Really?
It's and I mentioned about an hour or so ago that we're going to see the weird interactions once these storms fall south of the Tuck Hill Plateau. You get those weird dynamics in the Mohawk Valley. I think because we had that south wind coming in.
So look at that. This is
Yep.
just east of Old Forge. That's crossing 28. Can we?
And that's where the center is of the.
That's the
MCS.
center of the MCS. So there's going to be some. We don't know if that's straight line or swirling, but either way, that's wind.
Eagle Bay.
Yeah, this is over Eagle Bay, South Shore Road. This is right over. This is now east of Water Safari, but it is. I think that's. If I can remember where Bald Mountain is, I think that's a little bit west of Bald Mountain.
I believe so.
Pretty close though.
Close.
Pretty close though. Yeah, if you know anybody hiking, please give them a heads up. That's producing some strong
new
wind.
warning popping up. Let's see where that is issued. Maybe an update on an existing warning. Let's see. In the meantime, I do want to add north of that, in the Adirondacks, it looks like the winds are not as strong. Basically, anywhere in north of that line in Herkimer County, this is less of a wind risk.
Forest Port, you're about to get hit. straight line winds.
Okay, so they modified the warning we have in place.
Can we see if there's any? All right. Okay, so
You can also go back and forth if you need to up there.
yes, thank you. I don't see any debris.
No.
I went through and
But-
I didn't see it. But
That's got to be watched. So yeah, this is the biggest. I would put this at the top of the list here. This is
Yeah.
east of Old Forge. There's some strong wind. It's moving out of a populated spot and into a more of a rural spot. But I know there's a lot of camps out here. I know there's a lot of people that are hiking. There's the Limekin Lake campground that's out this way. I know that's pretty popular with some of the locals. Limekiln Lake campground. That's just south of Inlet. That's where this thing is headed. Some strong wind here. It looks like I don't know if this is straight line or swirling. It's hard to tell because this is right over the center of the MCS. Either way, it's wind. There's also some straight line wind showing up in northern Oneida County. We'll go back to the radar here.
Yeah, James is right. The Forestport area pretty much should be hitting in just moments from now. Heavy rain and thunder in Forestport reported from Nancy. Yeah, I'm looking at that. I don't see anything suspicious
now
from
been
that.
extended into Hamilton County.
Okay.
Yeah, they updated that warning. Nothing extending beyond that. I'm going to keep a close eye on that one out towards Syracuse, too.
So for those, I know, I just want to address some of the big population zones in the room here. Rome, Utica. This is the back edge of the storm. It's really close. At the moment, it looks like it might just clip Rome and Utica, but it's possible that this thing ends up missing you. The bottom line is the strongest part is going to miss you. What our primary concern, there's two things we're concerned about. This straight line wind that's in the process of going in this direction. So this is going to, the worst of this is going to miss Utica. This will go north of Utica into areas like Ohio, Dolgeville, probably just north of Little Falls, where the bulk of the straight line wind is taking place. And then there's this swirl that's near Old Forge that just doesn't look great here on radar. It's just something that is concerning. That is either there's two things happening here, and there's no way to really tell. There's either that's a really intense straight line wind, or there's some strong rotation there. At this point, we can probably go with the straight line wind because there's no debris being lifted here. There's nothing being detected, and there would be something being detected. There would be something to pick up here. There's a lot of trees. So if this was a tornado, I think we would be able to see that pretty well with dual pole. Either way, there's wind, and it's east of Old Forge. It's Mountain Lodge, Limekiln Lake State Campground, South Shore Road. This is now east of Water Safari. So if you know people in Water Safari, it's now worst of this is now east. Still some heavy rain, still some lightning here, but worst of it's going to be over relatively soon. This strong line is dropping in from the north. It's going to be moving towards Remsen. We'll put a storm track on this. We'll put a track on how this is going. We'll do a line here. So the most intense part of this, here's some towns this will be moving into over the next hour. Well, over the next half hour, actually. Remsen, 249, Prospect, 252, Trenton, 3 o'clock, Poland, 3:03. And again, can we pull up our tower cam on here?
To the west.
Yeah, and it's the button that looks like a W on the bottom, James, right here. Yeah, and then just you can push sign in. and if you can turn it, if you go to PTZ, and if you just turn it to the right, keep going. You can hold it down and it'll go a little bit faster. Keep going. And then kind of like bring it up.
Is that wall of rain there?
So might have to keep going.
Yeah.
So that just, we don't really have a great view of this from Smith Hill. It just looks like dark clouds. We're not seeing any structures.
That's, right. That's far away.
Yeah, but we'll leave that up, and we should have a view of that coming in. Any wind reports? Any wind damage? Are we on the Weather Service feed? Do we see anything?
Yes. Yeah. You can go back there. Have it in.
Let me take a look.
In the meantime, I want to answer a couple of questions here from chat. So there was a question regarding Lake Placid. Those of you in the Adirondacks, basically north of Old Forge, not a big concern for wind. You guys are basically just going to be dealing with some thunder and lightning, maybe some heavy rain, if that. But the brunt of the system is passing south of the High Peaks area. In the meantime, yes, feel free to share any reports of wind damage when it comes to the storms that rolled through in Oneida County, Lewis County. Be sure to let us know so we have an idea of where everything is. But right now, I'm just looking at that wind from. That's still some pretty decent wind heading into the Adirondacks.
Inlet area, just especially the south side of Inlet.
It's a little bit less than what we saw. That's the center of the MCS. Here you kind of see it showing up here.
Yeah.
So the center of the MCS, that swirl.
Yep.
I think what was happening here is that was where you had all your straight line wind. But that came right through Old Forge. So I'm wondering if we have any reports of any damage reports up at Old Forge, specifically the Old Forge area. Old Forge and Inlet, at least from radar.
So the Woodgate area, so 911 reports wires down in Woodgate, just outside Forestport, where that line probably went through. I mean, I don't think this is a very as destructive a line that went through the St. Lawrence, but this is definitely a line of storms that will still produce a pretty significant wind gusts.
The lightning count's down a lot.
Yeah.
So now we're down to 113. Was Rome working for you today? The ASOS?
I think it was still probably manual reports.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. There were no sky condition reports at noon.
Okay. So this is the newest one. So 84. It's warm. It's humid.
Dew point 71.
Dew point 71. Yeah. Boy, you can definitely tell.
Woo!
Yeah, I went running earlier today, and it was cloudy, but man, that humidity. You really can tell the difference today. Yeah, so at the moment, as we're continuing our live coverage here online, on Facebook and on YouTube and our website, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the next 13 minutes for Utica, Rome, good portion of Herkimer County north of the Mohawk Valley. Strongest storms are dropping in to the eastern half of Oneida County, and it does look like the brunt of this is going to miss Utica and Rome. I think you'll still get some thunder and lightning, but I think the worst of this is going to miss you.
Simply just looking at the path here, I mean, it looks like it's basically going to be on the fine line. Like maybe we're talking like north of Rome.
Yes.
Lake Delta, maybe on the fringe of Lake Delta.
I think that's probably as
Trenton,
far.
Norway.
Yeah. So we're not giving the official clear because you're still under the warning, but we're giving you the relax for a minute approach here because it does look like the given what we're seeing here, that's probably going to move out. Now, for those of you living in areas like Ohio and Remsen, this thing is knocking on your doorstep. This is capable of producing some damaging straight line winds and some thunder and lightning and some heavy rainfall. So you're going to want to get indoors. It's not one of those shelter immediately, your life is in danger moments, but it is producing some wind.
It's still pretty organized.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's, again, as severe as up north earlier, but it's still a very organized line.
Especially across central Herkimer County, north central Herkimer County, north of Ohio, seeing some bowing going on within the line. You can see the straight line winds on the velocity scan. And that looks to be the history of what produced the damage in Woodgate.
Yeah, you can see this bright color here. This is your straight line wind. This is radar indicated straight line wind. And it looks like this is going to be dropping into the 365 corridor from probably Trenton to Hoffmeister. So yeah, if you're in this area, you're going to want to just get inside. Some strong wind is possible. I know that as I'm scrolling through, you're seeing this tornado possible tag. It's just a reminder this is not producing a tornado. It just means these small eddies have the ability to do that. So
see if that will hide it if you need to.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh no, let me the next one.
I think we've got to do both. Yes.
Oh, and leave that one. See if that one pops up.
There we go.
Oh no, it's still.
Oh, you know what it is? It's under label windshield. This one.
Okay.
So auto query.
There we go.
So that way we can.
And just highlight that, and we can see the possible tags. I have them under the.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Nothing that looked anything majorly different from that Syracuse one, or west of Syracuse looks pretty.
So there's a little bit of an eddy showing up here.
Yeah.
This is just to the west of Morehouse.
Oh.
There's a little eddy showing up here.
Yeah, we got to watch that.
Yep. It got.
Yeah, it got tight.
It got tight very quick.
It got tight very quick. All right, so what we're looking at is the strongest part of this line. It's right here. This is showing some very slight broad scale rotation, and this is going to be dropping south and east to put a storm track here. Morehouse and Hoffmeister, right around 3 o'clock. This is going to be around that Route 8 corridor. I know this is a relatively rural community, but people do live here, people do commute here. And I know there's a lot of people on vacation, and you know people that are camping. You know people that are camping in this area, Lake Pleasant, I would put them into this, Pasico. Just let them know that there's a storm that is possibly producing some strong wind heading their way, and it's going to be here in probably the next 15 minutes to half hour.
I'll watch for the next radar scan.
We just got it, the new one, at least on this end.
My radar updated, but my velocity didn't.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, velocity didn't change.
That's not in the same spot.
Here, hold on.
Okay.
Nothing lining up with it right now.
Yeah, it might just be so. The tricky part about these, it's very hard to pick out and trying to decipher exactly what the winds are doing in this line. There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot. It's not when you think a line of wind moving through. It's not uniform. Because it's not uniform, there's parts of the storm that are moving faster. There's parts of the storm that are moving slower, and the differences between the two of them can sometimes give us false wind signatures, and it's very, very common to see that. But sometimes in the stronger parts of the line, you do get these very brief and very quick spin-up tornadoes. And in this situation, it's something that we're watching. It's not a very high risk. Otherwise, we would be under a tornado watch. It's not high, but it's not zero. And we always take the approach of just being very, very vigilant here and just watching this very, very closely.
New warning just came in. Let's see what's updated here. Oh, that is.
Is that an update? Oh yeah, I see for Herkimer.
Oh, mine didn't update yet. Where is that? Okay, there it is.
Oh yeah, they extended it east. Yeah, so now this is Saratoga County. This is Warren County.
Yeah, so you kind of see the path of where they're keeping that line.
Yeah.
Near Trenton through Stratford and outside of it. Let's remove these so we can see them pop up again.
So
We have a cell that
so
just fired over western Madison County. There's nothing to be alerted about it yet, but we do have some other thunderstorm development taking place.
Oh yeah, I see that. Those cells start to pop up a little bit.
Yep.
So getting a couple of. Okay, no, that's not in the same spot. Okay, never mind. Oh yeah, out towards Syracuse. Yeah, we're just kind of in a waiting game now. Go back to the tower cam. And we're just kind of in a waiting game at this point. Overall, the line has weakened. There's still things to be concerned about. I would imagine that in the next 4 minutes that they're going to discontinue the severe thunderstorm warning. I think we can probably say for those of you in Utica and Rome, you're in the clear.
They might modify it, put like one.
Yeah, they
right
might end
along
up
that line, or maybe a little bit more south of it.
They might end up just kind of cutting this just to the north, north and east. But I think I feel pretty confident for those of you in Utica and Rome. You can breathe a sigh of relief. So I just got that one. Is that?
That was the
I was checking our render queue
the
here.
Herkimer extended.
Oh, that's the Herkimer extended. Okay. So just to give you an idea of our, see what happens when I do this. Famous last words. So here's our tower cam.
You can also load it up here if you need to. In the big video, you can select
Oh, okay,
tower cam. I found that out a few days ago, so.
cool.
But
So-
that's also a useful tool.
So this is a live look at our tower cam, and we are not seeing a whole lot here from Smith Hill. I'll zoom in just to kind of show you some of the storm structure. We can see it from the distance. We have a pretty good view of this, but it's doesn't look all that impressive from our vantage point. Do you guys see anything worth pointing out here?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing very impressive at all. I mean, this is probably a better case scenario. I was concerned about the destructive tag up north and how it would handle moving through Lewis County. And again, we have these interesting dynamics as these storms start to pull into the Mohawk Valley. You get a lot of unique winds Some of them maybe eastward, some of them from the south. A lot of unique interactions. So there's probably more confidence in how those storms behave heading into the Adirondacks, and
Yeah.
you're going to see as they head south, there's going to be some. We can see that the south edge of it falling apart, and even more storms forming down here.
Yeah.
Individual clusters of cells.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we got another minute on this warning for Utica Rome, and I mean, unless something dramatically changes here, we'll probably end up dropping our coverage as these storms are starting to move out of our viewing area. We'll hold on for a little bit longer
yeah,
in case anything changes, but
like I think probably once this warning, if they modify it, maybe not to I think they might keep it a tornado possible just because of the amount of shear with the MCS here.
yeah. So the tornado possible part's going to be crossing into Hamilton County. That would be the Morehouse part.
Yep.
I think they might modify this with a non-tornado possible here along this line.
Right. So yeah, and even here, this is kind of broad scale.
All right, 3 p.m.'s going to move in. Let's see if they
See what they do.
It's probably going to expire here.
There we
There we
go.
go.
All right,
So they dropped it entirely. So no more severe thunderstorm warnings for.
James, you want to check the weather service checkbook? Just have it in that tab, and then very far left. No update there, you think? Check out Albany.
That's the other one they issued.
Yeah.
And then how do I switch over?
The left there, go to
There.
Albany. Yeah. And then scroll.
That's the one they just issued.
What's the new mezzo?
Where's that?
Right
yeah,
there.
Let me see that.
Shoot.
Let me go to SPC.
Yeah, go to see where the graphic is for that. There's a new mezzo that got put up.
Oh, okay.
Right on top of us.
Yeah, and it's for that Boeing line there.
No, they're just saying that the risk is going to continue, and
Yeah, no like increase, just
steady as she goes.
yeah. So that makes sense that warnings are expired for pretty much all of Oneida County right now. Maybe we're gonna watch some of these storms here out south of Syracuse and east of Syracuse,
See what
or
this,
west Syracuse, excuse me.
this storm sliding into Madison County does.
Because now
There's still
there's a pretty decent amount of sunshine that moved in ahead. Well, I take that back. Not considerable, but we did have a window here with some partial clearing before that came in. If I go to Morrisville here,
Yeah, you can see a little bit.
it was faded sun. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd be more concerned if it was completely clear blue skies and that was moving into that environment. But I think we'll watch it. But besides that, that Boeing's going to keep moving its way eastward. And
yeah. So I think, like Eric just mentioned this, I think the strongest part of your line here is what's happening over Morehouse.
100%.
Yeah, this is your strongest rotation. Well, it's not rotation; it's wind. We're not. Yeah, we're thinking this is probably straight line.
yeah,
So this area of wind has been pretty consistent, dropping in from the northwest, and it's moving over Route 8 now in Hamilton County. So this is going to pass west of Tosico, and then it's going to make its way towards Arietta, Route 10. This is north of Caroga Lake. Yeah, a lot of really great rural places to hike back here. Great places to drop your kayak and paddle all day. Route 10 is a very scenic drive, but not super concerned about the wind here. It's the strongest part of the line, but in terms of any rotation, I think it's mostly straight line.
Looks it to me.
Yeah.
And just to add too, for those of you wondering, so we're just looking at, I mean, any activity. The Utica Rome area, I think, is pretty much. I mean, North Rome, maybe North Utica. We'll get a clip of a storm from this.
Yeah.
But right now, I think the worst of those storms in the north will stay north of that area.
And these other storms that are worth mentioning here, west of Syracuse, these are going to drop well south of central New York. These would be more of a southern tier concern out towards Binghamton, Ithaca, the Finger Lakes. We'll have to watch to see if there's anything that ends up forming in this general zone, because this could end up going into, Madison, Western Otsego, Western Oneida, rather, in Otsego County. But there's nothing at the moment there, which is kind of strange. A lot of times these things form a line. It's kind of a broken line this time around. So it just kind of shows you the what's causing this to happen is very disorganized, and that's a good thing. In general, it looks like this line is weakening, and Rome. You'll probably hear thunder out of this to your north, but I don't really see this being a huge issue.
Yeah, I'm checking one last time. So Albany radar still has a good line of
Wind
coming in,
Yeah.
mainly straight line wind. That's going to head toward northwestern Fulton County,
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
So that's probably where the next biggest impact will be. But besides that,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So this is kind of your storm track. Arietta,
Yep.
Benson, Mayfield. This is going over the Great Sacandaga Lake. Eventually, it'll probably take about another hour for it to get there.
so this is nowhere near the surface, but I'm using the Albany radar here for those two storms. I pulled the Binghamton radar, and it looks like that.
Okay.
So I think for those,
So we'll have to watch this one. This is in an environment that's by itself. This has a much more favorable environment compared to what's left over from this. I would imagine that this storm is going to strengthen over time. It'll take a while for that to happen, but that's the next one we'll have to watch. So that'll be. I would imagine it'd be another hour or so before that would be strong enough to be concerning. I mean, until then, I mean, we're kind of on the fringe of this.
I think. I mean, it's up to you guys. Well,
I think we will take a break at the very least. For those of you tuning in, thank you for joining us. We've been covering this since 1 o'clock.
yeah, right at 1 o'clock.
Just a quick summary as we kind of wrap things up. There's some wind damage to the north in the Watertown area.
That's the Woodgate report.
We had some
Yes.
wires down in Woodgate. We had a couple of minor areas of damage so far. We're gonna follow up on what happened in Old Forge, if there was any wind damage there, because on radar that looked like it was one of the strongest pieces of this. This is not coming into Utica. This is not coming into Rome. You guys are in the clear. From here on out, this is moving into central Herkimer County. This will be north of the Mohawk Valley. This will be moving into the southern Adirondacks. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning on it, but there's nothing at this point that looks super concerning or super destructive. We'll continue to watch what else is happening in our area in upstate New York. We've got this one storm in Madison County. If that does get its act together, we might have to come back on and give you updates here. But the ones that are out towards Syracuse, those are going to go into the Finger Lakes and into the southern tier. So that's not something that we would do extended coverage on. But there's some severe weather with that. If you're heading west along the thruway this afternoon, you'll be running into that. Anything else to add?
I think that's it for now. Again, like Bill said, we'll be doing a looking into some of that storm damage, maybe up to the north a little bit. But as of now, it's not as significant as when it first moved into Lewis County. And yeah, if any warnings do end up firing up, if things look to be picking up anything notably, we might go live again. Of course, if there's warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, a tornado warning, God forbid, that'll be sent to your phone. You have the QR code there for our Storm Tracker 2 app there. So even if we're not live on social media, on the broadcast as it happens, it's the latest way to get information here locally if it does form. So again, we're using it right now as we're relaying information to you guys. So if we're using it, I think it's good to say to you guys, it's very beneficial for you guys to use it as well.
Yeah, and we'll continue to keep you updated throughout the afternoon. Our next broadcast on television is WKTV at 5 o'clock. So again, we'll have the latest information. If we get any storm damage or if anything new develops, we'll keep you posted on that. So thank you for joining